To create a list, you need a name and value. Elements in a list don't have to be of the same type. For example, I can write or I in my list name first. You can omit the starting position if you want to start from the first position, but this won't remove all the ones. Hello coders, welcome to my channel. I'm David, your guide to mastering programming. Have you ever wondered what a list really is in Python? Is it an array or a linked list? Or is it something entirely different? By the end of this video, you'll have a clear answer and you'll know exactly how lists work, so you can use them with confidence. Until now, all the data we stored was in variables, but that's not very efficient with a large number of data. So programmers invented containers. Containers are data structures for storing multiple elements or objects. List, for example, is one container type. Let's create our first list. To create a list, you need a name and values. I'll give mine, for example, name first. To give a value to a list, you need to open the square brackets and here write values. For example, 2, 5, and 3. Values need to be separated with commas. If I print this, I'll see that all the elements as well as commas and square brackets. But if we want to print just elements that are space separated, we can write print, then asterisk sign, and then the list's name. In my case, first. Now when I run, I see 2, 5, and 3 are printed with space separation. Elements in a list don't have to be of the same type. Like in mine list here, 3 integers. You can have as many types as you want. For example, I can have here a float and a string, cat. When I run this, as you can see, it works perfectly fine. All the elements inside a list have their position. The position starts from 0 until the end. For example, in my list here first, 2 has a position of 0, 5.5 has a position of 1, and cat has a position 2. These positions are important because with them I can access certain elements, 5.5, cat, or 2, whatever I want. Let's print, for example, cat. Print, if I want to access this cat, I need to write my list's name first, then open the square brackets and the element's position. Cat, as I said before, its position is 2. So when I run this code, I want to see cat printed. As you can see, cat is being printed. To access all elements of a list, we can use for in combination with range. Let's create for, then I in range 3, why? Because we have 3 elements here. Now let's print each one of the elements. First, I'll comment this so it doesn't overwhelm our output. As you can see, all the elements are printed in the separate rows. But there is another way of writing this same code. For example, I can write for I in my list name first and then print I. As you can see, the output is the same. This code works the same as this one here. I becomes each one of the elements from this list. Range is also a list, but I didn't mention that in my previous videos. This is more efficient, and this is how you will traverse lists most of the time. Python has a shortcut for traversing lists. It's called slicing, and it looks like this. Let's say I want to have elements 2 and 5.5. I can write something like this. X equals first, open the square brackets, write the starting position 0, then colon, then the ending position. But the same with range, it excludes the last position. For example, if I say 3, it won't include this position. So I'll print X. No, I said I want 2 and 5.5, so here I'll write 2. As you can see, X is also a list, and it has elements just 2 and 5.5, as you can see here. But if I want, let's say, to have all the elements from this list, I can simply write something like this. Y equals first, then 0, 3. Now, when I print Y, as you can see, Y has all the elements of first. But you can omit the starting position if you want to start from the first position, and you can omit the last position if you want to go until the last position. So here I can write something like this. As you can see, the output is the same. Also, if you want to go, let's say, create a bigger list here, longer, and I'll give it values 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I'll have another list called A, and I want elements 3, 4, and 5. So I can write longer, then open the square brackets, write the starting position, 0, 1, 2, and write just the colon, because I want to go until the end. Now when I print this, as you can see, 3, 4, and 5 are printed. Let's say I want just the first 3 elements. I can then write longer than a nothing, because I want to start from the first position here, and then go until which position? 0, 1, 2. But I exclude the 2, so I'll go one further here, 3. So when I print this now, print B, I'll comment the previous prints. As you can see, B has value 1, 2, 3. Also, the step doesn't have to be 1. It can be 2, for example. Write longer, and then I want to start from the position 1, go until the end with step 2. So it will give me 1, 3, and 5 when I print C. Print C. Oh, I forgot. I start from the first position, which is 2. 2 and 4 are printed. This step can be negative number as well. Also, for example, if I want to get the last element, I don't need to count how many elements there are and decrease it by 1. I can simply write print and then longer minus 1. This gets me the last element, which is 5. Let's comment this. As you can see, it gave me 5. Also, for example, I can have negative steps. D equals longer. Let's say I want elements 4, 3, and 2, but in reverse. I don't want 2, 3, 4, 5. I want 4, 3, 2. Then I can write the starting position, which is 4. The position of 4 is 3. And go until which position? 2, 1 before 2, which is 1. No, I mean the position before 2 is 0. So 0 and then minus 1. So I expect to see 4, 3, and 2 here when I print D. 4, true, and T, and 2 are printed. Now I'll cover some basic functions that are useful when you're using lists. For example, we can get the length of a list. I'll comment this here. Print len, and then pass the list that you want to check its size. As you can see, this list has 5 elements. So this len gives me 5. If I want, let's say I created this list, but somehow I want to add some element to it, I can use the append function. Append function puts the element at the last position. The append function is called like this. You write the list's name, then write the dot and append here, and inside the brackets pass what element you want to append. For example, I want to add another 2. I meant here. Now I can print longer. As you'll see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2 is added at the end. Also, maybe I want to add some element in the middle, let's say here. In that case, I can write longer dot insert, then the index, which is 0, 1, 2, 2, and then the value that I want to put. Let's say I want to put value 1. Now, when I print longer, I expect to see here 2. And all these elements shifted right by 1. As you can see, I have 1, 2, 1, 3, 4, 5, 2. Now, maybe I want to remove some element. Maybe I want to remove this one. In that case, I can use longer, then write remove, and then the value that I want to remove, 1. But this won't remove all the ones inside this list. It will remove the first occurrence, which means just this one. Now, when I print longer, as you can see, the first one is removed, but the second one that appeared is still inside the list. Maybe you want to remove the last element. Then you can write longer dot pop. This removes the last element. Now, when I print longer, I expect to see these two removed. As you can see, this 2 is no longer the element of our list. Also, now maybe I want to reverse this list. I want 5 to be first element, 4 second, 3 third, and so on and so forth. In that case, we use the function reverse, longer dot reverse. Now this reverses the entire list. When I print longer, as you can see, the list is reversed. I'll comment this. Also, a very common thing in programming is that we want this list to be sorted. In order to sort this list, we use something that's called a sort. This sort function sorts a list. Now I can print longer. As you can see, the list is sorted. Also, if you want a list to be temporarily sorted, not for always, you can just use the function sorted. Print, for example, and here write sorted, and to this function pass a list longer. I'll comment this, and now when I print longer again, you will see that here it will be sorted, but here it won't. As you can see, this is the first print, and the second print where a function where a list should be sorted, it is sorted, but temporarily. Now in the next print, as you can see, the list is not sorted. Let me reveal the secret of what lists are in Python. Lists are dynamic arrays. They are lists because they support indexing. They are arrays because they support indexing, and they are dynamic because they can change size and can have multiple data types as elements. I hope you found this video helpful. Like and subscribe for more coding content. See you in my next video. Until then, keep coding.